A journey to self-discovery with whispers of time. Hello everyone, welcome to this journey of self-discovery. Imagine a moment when you pause amidst the hustle and bustle of life, amidst the pressures and heavy expectations. You ask yourself, who am I really? What is the meaning of my life? These are not new questions, but questions that have echoed through thousands of years of history, from ancient times to the present day. The journey of self-discovery is one that transcends the boundaries of time and space. A journey that each of us must face, sooner or later. This journey is like a river, sometimes calm and gentle, sometimes turbulent and fierce. To truly understand our own selves, we must confront our fears, push past our limits, and understand what life has to offer. It is a journey full of challenges, but also a journey full of hope and meaning. Are you ready to embark on this journey with me? Let us explore the stories, the lessons from the past, and find the answers for ourselves. Let's start with someone who is admired by many, Nelson Mandela. Before becoming a symbol of freedom, he had to endure many years of imprisonment, along with countless moments of introspection in the darkness of his cell. He asked himself what the true meaning of freedom and the self was. He found himself not just through his fight for his people, but also by awakening the values of altruism and sacrifice for a greater good. Nelson Mandela was not only a leader, he was also someone who listened to his own soul. During his 27 years in prison, he never stopped reflecting, contemplating the purpose of life and the value of freedom. He understood that freedom was not merely about breaking physical chains, but about liberating one's own soul, about forgiveness and kindness. These realizations helped him become a symbol of peace and unity. Mandela once said, "I have walked that long road to freedom. I have tried not to falter. I have made missteps along the way. But I have discovered the secret that after climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb." This shows that the journey of self-discovery is a continuous process, learning from one's mistakes and moving forward. Next, let's consider another figure, Siddhartha Gautama. Before he became the Buddha, he was born into wealth and luxury, but always sought deeper meaning in life. He lived a life of material abundance in the palace, yet was constantly troubled by the suffering of humanity. Upon witnessing old age, sickness, and death, he decided to leave his royal life to seek the truth of suffering and liberation. On his quest to understand life's meaning, Siddhartha faced numerous challenges. He practiced extreme asceticism to the point of physical exhaustion, but realized that self-torture was not the path to enlightenment. He chose the middle way, not too ascetic, not too indulgent. Eventually, after 49 days of meditation under the Bodhi tree, he attained enlightenment and became the Buddha. He understood that the true self lies in liberation from desires and in boundless compassion for all beings. The Buddha once said, "You yourself must strive." The Buddhas only point the way. This quote reminds us that the journey of self-discovery must begin from within. It is not fame, status, or material wealth that brings happiness, but the inner peace and love we share. To understand this more deeply, let us look into the Buddha's experiences throughout his journey to enlightenment. After leaving his royal life, Siddhartha spent 6 years practicing severe asceticism, alongside renowned ascetics of his time. They believed that only through self-mortification and enduring pain could one achieve liberation. However, Siddhartha did not find truth in those years of hardship. He realized that the true self does not lie in escaping life or forcing oneself into suffering, but in balance, in understanding, and in love for all beings. This story shows us that the path to true selfhood is not always filled only with suffering and sacrifice. It is also about awareness and understanding. Now, let us turn to the story of David Thoreau, a man who sought freedom and selfhood in nature. Thoreau isolated himself from society to live by Walden Pond for several years. He wanted to understand whether one could live simply and still find happiness. He wanted to reconnect with his true self in the tranquility and wilderness of nature. During his years at Walden, Thoreau learned how to be self-sufficient, to live in harmony with nature, and to find joy in simplicity. He documented his thoughts and experiences in his book, Walden, a work that has inspired many about how to live simply and cherish every moment. Thoreau believed that most men lead lives of quiet desperation, and he wanted to escape that by living authentically. On one occasion, Thoreau recounted spending hours by Walden Pond, just watching fish swim in the water. This was not a waste of time, but a way for him to connect with the natural world, to feel every breath of the earth. He shared, "I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life, and see if I could not learn what it had to teach." Thoreau's life was not one of loneliness, but a journey of connecting with nature, to find the true meaning of existence. Thoreau's journey reminds us that the true self is not found in what society imposes on us, not in titles or status, but in the moments when we truly live with ourselves, feeling the freedom and harmony with nature. That is when we no longer have to play the role of someone else, no longer have to strain to meet others' expectations. Through these stories, we see that the journey of self-discovery is not always easy. It is often full of challenges and sacrifices. It is about leaving behind the familiar to seek answers to the profound questions of the soul. Is the journey of self-discovery about searching for things outside, or is it about looking deeply within ourselves? Consider the story of Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist from Austria who survived the horrors of Auschwitz during World War II. He lost everything: his family, friends, and personal freedom. Yet, what kept Frankl from collapsing was his ability to find meaning in life, even in the most painful circumstances. In his famous book, Man's Search for Meaning, Frankl shared that people can endure any suffering if they find a reason to live. He said, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. This shows us that sometimes the true self is not about what we have, but how we face challenges, how we hold on to our values even when everything around us crumbles." The journey to finding oneself does not always require distance, isolation, or ideal conditions. It may be in those moments when we confront pain and find meaning in it. Each of us has our own path to discovering our true self. Some will find it through successes and failures, through relationships with others. Some will find it when they spend time in a quiet place to reflect and ponder. And some will find their true self by helping others, by living for something greater. The stories we have explored today are not merely lessons from history. They are vivid examples of the human strength to find oneself. Nelson Mandela, Siddhartha Gautama, Henry David Thoreau, and Viktor Frankl, they have shown us that the true self does not lie in what we possess or in the titles we achieve, but in the values we choose to live by and uphold. It is their trials, introspection, and resilience that help them find their true selves and inspire generations to come. You may be standing at a crossroads in your life, or perhaps feeling lost amidst the demands and pressures of society. But remember, the journey to find oneself is never too late. Every moment we take to listen to ourselves, to overcome our own limits, is a step closer to our true self. If today's stories have helped you reflect, if they have sparked a glimmer of hope or a bit of courage in you, then that is the greatest gift this journey can bring. Stay with me on the upcoming journeys, where we will encounter more inspiring figures and stories. Let us continue exploring ourselves to live a truly meaningful and fulfilling life. So, what do you think about our journey of self-discovery? Is it a journey of leaving everything behind, or perhaps just the opposite? Is it about abandoning society's expectations to return to our true selves, or learning how to live in harmony with what we already have? Please share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to stay tuned for the next videos as we continue this wonderful journey together.